Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. Today we're doing an update and a pruning on this Yamadori. This is a Mimosa bimucronata. It's an endemic plant of the Mata Atlantica, or the Atlantic rainforest of Brazil. I rescued it out of a lake. If you had seen the previous videos, if not, I encourage you to go look at them after this one. We're going to organize these branches and come up with a battle plan to see what this tree's overall form is going to be. So let's get started. Starting low here, I think we're going to leave this branch going across, which is not typical of bonsai. You don't want things crossing, but it gives this branch going this way. I got some shoots here, but they're so low they're really never going to develop into branches. They're really close to the soil. So my only hope to get foliage right now, until I get another bud, if I ever do, because this is very dry, you can see the bark kind of peeling up, is really from this branch here and anything that comes off this branch. I like what we see here. This is starting to look good. This is eventually going to swell and over the next 10 years close up that wound. That's why I just left those branches intact. So, I'm going to try from this perspective. I'm going to go ahead and take these shoots here off first. They're really just never going to go anywhere. Get that nice and low. And people ask me, can you root these? And I say no. I tried, and it really never has come to fruition. Everyone I've tried has failed. Apologies for my neighbor there. He's cutting tile, so we're going to have to deal with that a little bit throughout the episode, but it's okay. It's good to be industrious. We're all industrious in our own way. So, yeah, I've taken off those nodes there. Do I want this branch going out this way? Well, the only other foliage I have this low down on the back side is further up. So, I don't know. It really is low. I think I had a dream here. I had an anchor once, because there is a node here. But I think allowing that to grow up in this direction is the best way. So, I'm going to make this one the chief branch for this side of the other section of the tree. Get rid of these lower shoots. They're coming out of literally everywhere. Get rid of that one. The one I anchored. Here's the one I anchored. Let's get the anchor out of the dirt. It's really tough. Really is tough. I don't want any of these things shooting up. This one's crossing over everything. So I actually got to get rid of that one for now. So we're going to go in here. Got a lot coming out at one point. Which is fine, because I wanted to thicken the trunk some. So I'll get rid of that one. So there goes that one. This is pointed straight up. Now, do I want to leave more branches so this thickens up? I might, because this tree is so thick and old in the trunk here, and the branches are so young, it's a little disproportionate. So it gives me some time to allow it to grow. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this one that's pointed straight down off as well. There goes that cut. And allow the tree to focus its energy in the other parts that I've left remaining. This thing shooting straight up is probably not going to help us, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that there. I'm going to leave a little bit behind. So see there's a little growth there. Hopefully that ramifies and comes out. And again, I'm just leaving some of that kind of as, sacrificial branches, and I'll trim them eventually. This will probably end up being the leader, or maybe one of these up here for this branch. Now we're going to work on this branch that I had anchored. Looking at it, we don't want these things growing up or back toward the tree, so those go away. I think these internodes are quite long, but this is also kind of acting like a sacrificial branch, and because I want it as a thickening branch. I don't really want it to sacrifice it. So I'm going to give it a modest pruning here, and see what happens, like so, and to see if this grows down, because the overall idea of this anchor is really to get this branch to come down some more, and I want it to do that, and see if this cut makes it back bud. If this back buds, then I'm okay. I don't want this double branch here, take that out, facing completely down. I want to see how the tree reacts to this cut, see if it grows more downward. So that's the plan there. For this branch, This is kind of like a thickener as well. That's on that crossing branch in the front of the tree. Um, do I want that? Is it necessary? I don't think so. So let's get rid of it. That one's gone. You gotta be careful. These have some nasty thorns. This is also known as the una de gato, or an espinera, which is a spine tree, or a thorn. It's a thorn tree, basically, a spiky tree. But they got some pretty aggressive thorns on it. I'll show you later. All right, let's get a new perspective on the tree. All right, so I have this shoot going up here. Now, do I want to cut it? It's pretty green. I could probably get away by pulling it down. So what I'm going to do is take this old anchor I have and see if I can't coax it into a different position. Maybe I can get away with using all these thorns this tree has to help bring this little guy down. Just temporarily to hold it down. Nope, we're going to go further with that, or bend it differently. I don't want to tear it apart, so I got to be careful. Pull that back up. Go further down the line. See if we can't get that. That's too far down the line. Maybe. I think we're going to have to play with that for a second and see how that's actually going to go. We can pull it that way. You know what? Let's make a new piece altogether. Then in its custom size. So I'll hook it like so, and then I'll figure out where on this branch I want to lasso it down. Again, these barbs are brutal. So if you're dealing with the barbs like I am right now, it literally sticks right to you like a cat does. All right, there's that. There's that. Almost, we're almost there. So there, I've pulled that over like so, because I want this to grow into a pad here eventually. I want a pad of these bipennate leaves. They look nice, and this is a very small mimosa leaf. Let me see if I can. You can see here that they're very, very small leafed. Just to give you a close-up of what that looks like. This is a temporary thing. It's going to be there for a month or two. Okay, so I gotta bring this branch down a little bit because I don't like how tall it is. So I'm just gonna make a quick anchor with that. Put a bend in this. Put a V shape in this. It'll help put it into the ground for me and act like a barb. Let's go ahead and do that. Like so, just a little bit. I want to change the plane a little bit. I'll bend it this way, more that way, perhaps. There we go. Now, I'm gonna take that leaf off the tree. So, bimucronata is so high that it's hitting. So I'm gonna leave these branches up high here. They got to stay. They really do. So I can close that wound over time. What I really need to do is organize this section, if you can see. This section here. These need some organization, these leaves. We've got multiple points, old cuts, new branches coming up. So let's get the organizing. I trim things that I don't want, or I want to see ramification. Well, there's very long internodes here, so I'm going to go ahead and clip that. It's long, bushy, got long internodes as well. I think it's time to clip that down. Now, when clipping this family of trees, especially with the thorns are a great giveaway because they themselves are nodes. Thorns can make roots where the thorns are. They can also make branches and leaves. So cutting where the thorns are very important, and pretending they're also nodes, because they are. You don't have to pretend. This here is kind of dying. Not sure. It's got a new, well, no, it doesn't. I think this just has to go. That just has to go. This could be the new leader if I wire this down or anchor it down, which I will do. This is facing inward. We don't want that. This is okay. I like where this is going for now. Let's leave that alone. This is growing over itself, so we gotta get rid of that. Where that goes. See if we can close up on this for you. I don't know if it will work. There we go. Give you an idea what's going on here. Maybe, if it focuses. So I'm assessing this long branch here right now and where to cut it. And I think I want it to be a vital part of the overall shape of the tree. So I just want to cut it back some of this dead wood here, if you can see it. That's got to go. Some more dead wood down here. This has got to go. This whole thing here is dead wood. There that goes. Gone. But one thing about this branch I don't like is these vertical shoots. We don't want too many vertical shoots, so we're gonna go ahead and snip these off right now. Take them off the tree. This is also very vertical. Take it out above the node there, so it will still kind of flatten out over time. We have some fresh new shoots here that I just want to get rid of because they're going upwards. Get rid of this one, and this one. That way she won't get too long. I have another piece of dead wood right here I gotta get rid of. That's gone. This is facing up. Let's get rid of that. That's gone. This is more of a pad now. This definitely wants to go up, but I think I could probably wire that down, which I may do. I'll definitely wire this guy down and put him into a pad there. Now I know this tree is bare in this area, but it's also where the most distinct feature on the whole tree is where this wound is, this old bark peel back. So what I'm thinking is we need to actually remove this sprout here from the front of the tree, because it blocks the view of the tree, especially as it gets more mature. So that's got to go. That opens that back up. You can see where that's going. And now in regards to this branch, where did she go? Bring it back to here. I'm thinking maybe. It's a possibility. We got the branch here, but this is also a very long node. If that doesn't backbud, I might get rid of that completely. Now looking at this top grouping, I'm going to get rid of this piece of deadwood here. There goes that. And I'm going to wire these down and then trim them. Alright, I've decided this has got to go. This is going to eventually become a problem too. So that one's gone too. Alright, so you can see I got some wire up here now. Not sure if you can see the tree. Give it a nice spin. See what's going on here. Got it all wired up from the front. This is the front of the tree. This is the front right here. Let me see what you can see for a second. And zoom out. So yeah, this is me next to the tree. You can see it's quite a large tree, quite a large Yamadori. So I got the wire here. I gotta trim a few more things, but we're essentially done here. So let's go ahead and trim that up. So what I'm looking for here is some new growth that I don't want and directions that I don't want. Granted, I've changed the direction of the branches, so the growth isn't what it's normally going to be because I changed the direction of the branches, but I'm going to have to try to predict how it's going to fill in afterwards. Like for instance, I don't need this tall shoot here, so I'm going to cut it back to the nearest smallest internode, like so. And there's new growth here, I'll leave that alone, except for the very tip. I'm going to cut that back. Hopefully it backbuds a little bit. Anything pointing down, upside down, I do not want now. That's going to go away. This guy, as sad as that may be, we don't want it going straight down. But I'm going to leave the nub there for the wire's sake. That's okay. This is a little tall. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. This is new growth. I'm going to leave this new growth here alone, because it's building up the back side of this tree. I don't know if you can see this if I spin it. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, so let me just do some more here. So here, I want this to swell out and help close this wound as well from the other side. So I'm going to leave this growth alone. I'm going to leave the growth on the back here alone as well, because maybe this will become a dual trunk, kind of like a sideways Y one day. There's some new growth here. I'll get rid of that. It's kind of facing up. I'll get rid of that. Again, I know I changed the direction, but I just have to think ahead in the pruning world of what's going to happen. And I'm looking. Got some more verticals I want to get rid of. And right now, I want to see how the plant adjusts over the next 2 weeks to see where I want to trim more. But I think if we get rid of the last few vertical branches here and new growth so it doesn't get too wide of a tree, we'll be good to go. Get rid of some of this dead dieback here. I've got 2 possible gins here as well. So that's all looking good. So you got some new growth in the back. Give you a close-up of this work. You can see how that wire drastically changed the shape. Here's the wound that it'll eventually grow in. Here's that side I was talking about where I'm going to leave the fresh growth just doing its own thing for now. Allow that to thicken. That's important. Here's a look of the entire tree. The front of the tree. Sorry. Here we have the tree all pruned and manipulated on the top the way I want it with wire. Normally I don't wire, so I apologize to those who like to see me just prune to shape. But in this particular tree, if I want to see results in it within the next 5 years or less, the wiring is going to speed that up. If I wanted to play the long game with this tree, I could just continue to strategically cut it and ramify it to get the desired shape, I'm sure. So there is some controversy with this tree. The front looks great here, but on the back side we have this beautiful long trunk taper into the ground, kind of giving it a windswept look. So it's really hard to see. So when I repot this plant in the September, I'd say, I'll show you what the root system looks like after I pruned it the first time when I saved it. So thanks again for hanging out with me for another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. Until next time.